The hidden cost of college is much, much worse. Your time, wasting the 4 most important years of your entire life. This is when you are an absolute sponge. You can absorb information at the highest rate. And what do you learn at college? Nothing. If you've been to college, or if you're going to college, or if you're in high school, tell me one thing you have learned that you believe will be useful in your life. Nothing. Name me one person that you know that has said that going to college helped them learn what they are doing in their current job. It may have helped them get the job by getting a degree, but has it helped them learn? Are they learning what they are doing their job right now? No. So what is the hidden cost of college? It is wasting those 4 precious years of your life. Now, a lot of people say, okay, I know college isn't really worth it. I know that I'm getting into a lot of debt, but I don't know what I want to do. And in fact, I was in that category for a long time. I thought I should have gone to college just because I don't know what I'm going to do. Let me give myself 4 years to figure it out. What I'm going to show you is what you can do and how you can maximize your efforts if you are a hardworking individual, which I hope if you are trying to improve yourself, you would be. So if I could go back to junior or senior year of high school, what I would do instantly is I would quit whatever job I had and I would look for the most expensive country clubs, whether it's golf, yacht clubs, it's super expensive restaurants. Find the most expensive places nearby, no matter what it is, and start working there. Then what are you going to spend your time doing? Because I know deep down in my heart while I was in school that what I was learning was useless and that I had to pursue other factors. For me, it was macroeconomics. For you, it could be tech, it could be coding, it could be anything. It could be, there's literally millions of high income skills that you can learn to start implementing to where you can find a job almost instantly. If you're like me, I always knew that I wanted to apprentice myself under someone. So if you're like one of those people, what would I do? I would spend 6 to 12 months learning and studying every single day, reading every single book I can. If you have no interest, read 10 books on a few different subjects and see what you like. I love personal finance and macroeconomics. So all I did, once I found that, I just was studying 10, 12 hours a day, every single day, listening to every single podcast, reading every single book I possibly could. Do that for whatever subject you are passionate about. Take notes, try and regurgitate what you're learning to help you understand. That I would say the most important and best way to grasp knowledge is first, absorb the content, write it down, take notes, and then express it back out, whether it's making a video, talking to your mother, your friend, whatever you have to do. The important part is consuming and then producing, because when all you do is consume, you forget everything. I guarantee you do not remember the last 3 videos you watched when you were scrolling on Instagram or TikTok or YouTube. You just don't remember. So once I thought I had a good understanding of the subject at hand, I would try and learn as much about communication and human interaction as possible, because I've learned with my business, the only thing that matters is who I know. Where my clients come from always come from either connections directly or indirectly asking around. That has been almost 100% of what I've seen from everyone's success who I've met. It's just the people that you know, they'll help you as much as they can. They'll introduce you to people. That's why I think that you shouldn't be working at your local Starbucks, but trying to find the most expensive place possible. Even if you're eating shit, just try and talk to the members, ask them for advice. People who are successful want to help other people. It is just guaranteed, especially if you're a younger person and incredibly motivated. I would offer to do any work for them for free. And most of the time they are going to end up paying you. I've offered free services more times than anyone could imagine. Sometimes they'll take you up on the free offer and then they'll become a lifelong friend. Most of the time they actually end up paying you. Then what has helped me most, because I did not take the route of finding a job at a super expensive club. I was working as a lifeguard. So what I did is I went to conferences in the space that I was interested in. I was going to macroeconomic conferences. And what you found there are extremely high net worth individuals who are very serious about investing and learning as much as possible, big entrepreneurs and business owners. And I was fortunate enough to network myself in there and make almost all the friends and clients that I have today from those kind of events. I feasibly could not recommend it enough. If you want a completely separate video on how to attend those events and maximize your networking and productivity, because it is nerve-wracking. I always had a very hard time going up to people and talking to them and getting a good conversation. Simple. It takes a lot of work to become proficient in any sort of information on any subject, whether you love social media or coding or electronics or building stuff or some sort of cars. That is tough work. To get very good at something, it takes a lot of time. And if you're like me, if you're a younger person, you think that you have to do everything right now. If I don't make $1 million in the next year, I'm a complete failure. And it honestly does feel like that. So if you open up your time horizon and take that same college-like structure of 4 years of education, I would spend 1 to 2 on learning as much as possible about everything, every single subject you can, just feasibly trying to become the best version of yourself. And then trying to make as many connections with the more affluent individuals in your area and the business owners of things that you're interested in. Let's say you're super into cars. I would go to the people who own the car dealerships, or where you know that they hang out at these big car meetups, and just trying to force your way in there. It is much easier than you think it is. People love to help other people, especially if you are super eager and you're offering to work for any amount of money. It doesn't really matter. You will receive a lot of no's. And I used to email a gross amount of people a month telling them that I'd work for them for free, and I would get rejected almost every single time. But the key is almost every single time. Eventually, you're going to have someone that takes you on. And if you're looking at it as a 4-year college process, you have so much more time. Think about what most people are doing in college. They are not paying attention in school. They are getting decent grades. They are doing useless homework, useless work. They are partying on the weekends, and they're trying to make friends with people around them. And for some, that lifestyle is fine. But that is not the lifestyle that I ever wanted. Partying and getting drunk on the weekends is not incredibly fun to me, especially if you're just doing it with college kids who are trying to do drugs and bang chicks. So that was never the lifestyle I wanted. I did not want to party for 4 years and learn useless things. I knew that I want to start working under someone and learn as much as possible, because this is your prime time. This is when your brain's at your strongest. This is when you have the most amount of energy. It is the absolute best time to learn as much as possible. And almost, I think the most important part is this is when older rich folks, they are going to give you the most leeway, because when they see someone super young and motivated, they do not care about your college resume. I have never once, not a single time, been asked what college I went to or for my resume when I'm getting jobs with these people. I have been offered dozens upon dozens of jobs from people who are making 8-9 figures a year. And what do they care about? They care about the value and the knowledge that you have. They do not care about a resume. And I'm gonna tell you a personal story. My sister, she just graduated from college, and they were having a graduation party, and all her friends were over. There was this one girl who went to an incredibly prestigious Ivy League school. She had a 4.0 GPA. Everything was perfect on her resume. She said she sends out 300 resumes a week, and she has not gotten a single letter back, not even to get an interview. Not even to get an interview. So what are you doing? And she's astronomically in debt. Like, you couldn't even imagine. She got perfect grades, went to a Ivy League school, and those were the results? That you can't even get a job? They won't even look at your resume? When I tried to drop out of high school. I have gotten dozens of job offers, and I'm working with people who are some of the most wealthy individuals on the planet. What is the difference? I already have the skills that these people need. That is what I've been crafting over the past 2 years. Whereas people who go to college, they don't have any skills, so they have to be trained up. I already know what to do because I spent the time to study it. And that's what most people miss out on. They say, all right, Josh, I just want to skip to the part where I'm working with the individual that you're working with. But what they won't do is take the 1 to 2 years of just studying every single day, trying to understand and provide value for these people. Because at the end of the day, you will be wasting their time, because they're going to have to train you. And most of them will be completely fine with that if you're telling them that you will work for free and do absolutely anything. But that's not enough in a lot of situations. If you can just prove yourself right out the gate, because you have that predisposed knowledge of what they already know, they are incredibly likely not only to want to hire you, but to want to be involved in any business that you have in any future and want to introduce you to all their friends. And I've seen this happen time and time again, not just with me, but with other young folks who I've met who are doing similar things. Once you're already 23, 24, you are getting out of the age, or you're still in it, where it's easy to start to intern for free from people. But once you get out of college, you have bills that need to be paid that have to go back to the school. You have responsibilities to most likely move out the house and get a decently high-paying job. You see your friends getting those high-paying jobs. There is a lot of social pressure and actual economic pressure on you to start making high wages. Whereas if you just skip that process and you go straight into learning as much as possible, and you just eat dirt for a few years, you can get 100 times better education than every single person who went to college because I pay astronomical amounts of money for education, not for school. There's a huge difference. If I want to make money, do you want to make money from someone who got rich, ran a huge business, and then sold a course on how they did it, which most people call scams? Or do you want to do that from someone who went to school, then went to more school just to teach about school? There seems to be a incongruency there. How are you going to teach me how to make money when you've never made any money yourself? Finding an apprenticeship is simple, but it is not easy. Spend the time, take the effort, and just network yourself with as many people as you possibly can. Just be the most motivated human and offer everything for free. And I guarantee you that you will find someone that is incredibly successful that would love for you to work and you can learn as much as possible for. Is that more important than college? For me, it was. Not necessarily for everybody. This is only talking from my personal experience. If you want to see why I chose not to go to college and I am fortunate to have the slight amount of success that I have achieved, if you want to call it that, then you can watch that here. Thank you.